process of making coffee is pretty simple. I have this camping style metal French press. It had a insert that was like the French press insert, but I don't even use that. I just use a wire mesh strainer because it's easier to clean than the fine mesh sieve thing that came with this. I either heat up hot water on my propane mini boiler, or like today when I have a fire going, I can just use the tea kettle that I keep on there. When that's had a little bit of time to sit, I will put a paper towel down just in case I spill. Load up some cream into my coffee. I don't need to stir it if you put the cream in first. In the winter, I can keep cream outside for 3 or 4 days at a time, and I can drink all of it by then. I take my sieve and pour until I have a full cup. And then I'll usually just tap those grounds back into there so that they can get extra coffee while I drink this. Now for the best part of the day, which is getting back in bed and doing my morning pages and reading with my coffee. Literally the best part of the day. Now, this is the type of view that I had been dreaming of for years when I lived in the city. Waking up next to my stove with my coffee and my candles and having my writing out. What a treat. One of the benefits of being self-employed is that I get to have more agency over the shape of my day than most people do, or than I have in the past when I am not self-employed. And I'm usually at the farm where I live, where the Yurt is 4 days a week, and then I have to go out to the city to work like 3 days a week. And when I'm on the farm working, I get to have a lot of agency over the shape of my day, doing working from home stuff. And it's really important to me to have slow mornings where I'm able to, I don't know, just like acclimate to the day and also welcome in my creativity immediately. Journaling is really important for me to be able to process my dreams and kind of set the tone for the day. I also like to read in the morning. And yeah, when I first moved out here, I struggled with being on my phone just as much as I was before, even though I was off grid, because I still have cell service out here. But one of my big solutions that has helped so much is that I only have my phone on during the workday. And how I navigate that is that I will either let my phone die, which is pretty easy to do because when you don't have electricity, your electronics are kind of always dying if you're not keeping up with them. I'll let my phone die before I come back to the Yurt in the evening to relax and go to sleep, or I will leave it to charge in one of the buildings that are far away while I'm asleep. Today, my phone is in the room, but it's dead, and I don't have a way to charge it in here at the moment. And I'm sure if it was awake, if the phone was alive, then I would have looked at it as soon as I woke up and started scrolling. But I know myself and I don't have the willpower to resist that. So I just make it difficult for me to do that, because I also don't have the willpower to get up and immediately go walk out in the cold with my phone to take it to a charger and then come back and then go get it again. So, little like brain hacking situation. One of the other benefits of living off grid is that I save a ton of money. I save money on rent, I save money on utilities. I talk more in some of my other videos about how I save money. I save money on going out to eat and all this other stuff because there's nowhere nearby to do that. And with all that money I save, I'm able to have the freedom to make less money in order to survive, which means that I have more time, which is the most valuable thing to an artist. You might have noticed it's really dark in here. It is light outside. Normally I don't have this many lights on, just because I'm filming. I've been doing more lights this morning. Usually I just do candles, and even when I wake up to feed Romeo, I don't turn candles on at all because there's a little bit of light that leaks through gaps in like the door and the dome. Water doesn't get through, but a little bit of light gets through. And when my eyes are adjusted, that is enough to be able to see. You can see just like a little bit of light leaking through the dome here. As someone who works nights and is on a night schedule, like I don't even know what time it is right now because I don't have my phone on and I don't have a clock in here. I like to give myself the privilege to be free of being tied to the clock because that's like one of the worst feelings in the world to me. And obviously I can't be free from the clock all the time, but it's really nice to go to bed and I'll know about what time I'm going to bed, but I don't know what time I go to sleep. I don't know like what time it is. I don't even know how much I slept. I just wake up when I'm ready to wake up, and I don't know what time it is until, later on in the day when I get my phone charged. But yeah, the yurt does not have windows or a dome cover. The only thing that lets in light is opening the door, which I will do in a little bit. I've gotten the best sleep of my life in this yurt. I think it's really nice to acclimate to the day in darkness and then introduce the light when I'm ready for it. It's super cozy. And if I need to go back to sleep, like if it's my day back from my like weekend work where I'm up until 3 or 4 a.m. every night, especially on those days, I need to be able to sleep until like 11 or noon, which is really hard for me to do if there was light in here because I'm very light sensitive. So I absolutely love that. The next step of the day is going to the outhouse. It's like at least 75 degrees in the yurt right now. I'm just gonna leave the door open to air out and walk over to the outhouse. It actually kind of feels good to be out in the cold air right now. I can see my breath, but it's really not that cold. I'm gonna leave you outside. And yes, I poop with the door open because that's one of the privileges of living on a corner of your friend's property. Nobody can see me. Fresh air is good. I feel kind of claustrophobic when I close the door to the outhouse. Yeah, I'm gonna go inside now and wash my paws with hot water and soap. In the winter, I keep this this bucket. This is just a 5-gallon bucket inside for gray water disposal. And then I have hot water going on the stove at all times for washing my face, washing my body. In the warmer weather, I will do stuff like brushing my teeth and washing my hands outside. But at this time of year, it's nice to be able to do it inside. And this has actually been just a very effective method. I dump it out outside, obviously. It's just not even close to being full right now, so I'm good on that. I just got dressed and reheated my coffee by putting it on top of the stove. I really like these metal mugs because I can easily reheat them, and breakfast is kind of snacky. It's the rest of this chocolate coffee granola and some spicy salami and water and coffee. Romeo's very interested. I'm not really hungry in the morning, so I don't really do a big breakfast. I do a big lunch, but I try to eat something to get my metabolism going and make sure I don't like crash out from caffeine and no food later on. Now I have salami all up in my teeth, so it's time to do my little like morning essentials, brush my teeth, wash my face, brush my hair, put on sunscreen. I just use that gray water bucket that I mentioned earlier. It's on the ground. Water on there. I really don't feel like I lack for anything. I feel like I live a very luxurious life off-grid, way more than I did in the city. And it's not as convenient and it takes more time to set everything up. Like, I have hot water because I hauled water and started a fire. And if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have hot water. And then that would suck. But a little bit of like forethought and a little bit of inconvenience gives me a very luxurious and way cheaper lifestyle, which is awesome. Oh, I just cut my hair and it's so nice having it be short and like less tangly. I don't use soap on my face. I just use hot water and a washcloth. There's science behind that. Your skin naturally has its own barrier of oils, and when you use actual like washing soap agents on it, it breaks down that layer. And I have significant skin issues, really bad eczema. It often affects my face, so I've really had to figure out like what works well for me. For me, it's just washing my face with hot water. Feels so luxurious, feels so good. I have a bunch of washcloths, perfect. And then I'm going to put some oil on my face. I don't use alcohol-based lotions, moisturizers. I use oil-based to mimic the natural oil of my skin and help with that barrier remaining intact. And I'm gonna put on some sunscreen. I just realized I wasn't filming. Yeah, I basically just put on sunscreen. I have been kind of bad about putting on sunscreen in the winter because it feels like it's not needed, but I'm outside for hours and hours every day. So even though it's winter and cloudy, it's still good to put on sunscreen. And I was also just talking about this. Ah! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, sorry, I just found a dead mouse in one of my traps, and I didn't expect it to be there, so it scared the shit out of me. Wow, okay, wow. Alright, I just like saw its little butt stuck out of the trap where it died, and it scared me. Okay, gross. Gross, gross, gross. I'm gonna deal with that later. Ugh, that gave me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, I was trying to say that this is a vintage ceramic, like ewer and basin pitcher situation, and this is what people used to use before indoor plumbing. Someone was like, it's a chamber pot. It's not a chamber pot. A chamber pot would be like the bucket that I pee in, which I keep outside. I could bring it inside. It doesn't really even smell that bad, but I just keep it under the awning on the porch because I don't really need a pee bucket to trip over in here. But the gray water one I just use for like washing water and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, this is really nice. Really nice. Good technology. Good tech. The mouse scared the shit out of me. Next activity is I'm gonna do a little bit of playing around on this welded from scrap metal geodesic dome that Jai, who lives on the property, made. It's pretty close to my yurt, and when the weather's good, I like to use it for calisthenics type activities and just play around. It's like a really nice way to start the day and to get like a little baby workout in. I'll usually give myself like a random challenge. I like to do dead hangs because it's really good for my back, some pull-ups, and then some kind of challenge that involves climbing around. I think today I'm gonna just like try to go around the outside as far as I can because some of it's blocked off by some stuff over here. Last little morning routine thing of the day is I'm gonna take Romeo on a little morning walk on the trails on the property. I just put him in the car because he barks at me when I climb the geodome. I'll take him for a longer walk later. I like to start out the day with the short walk around the kind of like main perimeter trail of the property. So it's nice to like, you know, circle the property and also to get a little walk in before I start working so that he's chilled out. And in this case, I'm gonna take the walk over to the cabin where I have gloves so that I can come back and dispose of that mouse and set another mouse trap. The yurt looks so cozy with the smoke coming out of the chimney. Always gives me this home sweet home kind of feeling, which I love. At the end of the day, the yurt just doesn't feel that small to me. Like, I feel like people who live out of vans and cars really are doing the small thing. I don't know if I could do that. I like having a little bit of room. Like, I feel like I have lots of floor space, I have lots of head space, I have lots of storage. And even though I am gonna move into the cabin, which will give me more space, I feel like I would have been, if the cabin didn't exist, I think I would have been happy to be here in just this amount of space for a couple years, at least, until building my own house. It is hailing right now. Not super hard, but it is hailing. I don't want my camera to get wet, so I'll just film a couple snippets of this walk when I got tree cover. Oh, the terpenes from the trees are so good. Studies show that they relieve depression, anxiety, lower cortisol. That's why the Japanese have forest bathing. That's why pretty much every indigenous culture is gonna have you outside with the plants. It's so regulating. I just fed that mouse to the chickens. I didn't film it because, oh, hi. Hello. Homie was like, what are we doing today? Yeah, I didn't film it because I was like gloved up, masked up. Mice around here, a lot of them have hantavirus, which sucks. So I have to be really careful when I'm handling them and their leavings. Today's actually a town day for me, so I'm gonna go get in my car and drive to the big city that's like an hour and a half away to work double shifts for 3 days so I can come back and live my no clock life again. If it was a weekday for me, which are like my no clock days, then I would be going over to the cabin to work on my renovation project, edit on my computer, you know, do stuff over there, but I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for watching. I have a video that's like just a tour of my yurt where I talk about everything that's in it. I'm gonna do an updated one soon because I did that one back in the summer and I have shifted some things since the winter and just since living in here longer. I also have, you know, videos about how I moved out here, how I afford to live here, what my living situation is, how I built, well, I got help, but how we built the cover for the front steps. There's a lot about the yurt. I haven't made like a yurt video in a minute, so feel free to dive into the yurt playlist on my channel and subscribe if you want to see more yurt living content, cabin renovation content, blue healer, hiking, adventure, swimming content, and whatever other off-grid nature freak shenanigans I get into. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.